Everyone. So in last video we are going to discussed about digital signatures. So how to generate digital certificates and then how to use the digital certificates. So and then we discussed about identity based private key generator. Okay. So all this concept we discussed in the first chapter. In first chapter we discussed about digital certificates. So next, in third module, second chapter is authentication 1. So authentication 1 is the second chapter, is in your third module. So now in this video we are going to discuss about authentication 1. So in last videos, in last modules, we quickly recap. So in last first two models we discussed about how to generate how to encrypt the keys and decrypt the keys, and then how to generate hash function, and then how to you exchange the keys by using diffie element key exchange. So that we discussed in first module and as well as in second module. Okay, and in third module I already explained in that previous video. In third module we are discussing about how to use or where to apply that authenticate that encryption models. Okay, how to encrypt the data, and then where to use now. Okay, and then how to use that algorithm securely, and then where exactly we are applying that algorithms. So in first chapter, so in third module we discussed about so the digital certificates. So why we generated the digital certificates, so that we discussed. So now we start our discussion about authentication. So you already know about authentication. So you all are familiar with social media and then your internet use. Okay, so in internet is nothing but so we are connecting with so many websites and so many servers. Mainly we are connecting to the so many servers through websites. So that websites are the interface between the user and the server. Okay, so if you want to access any server, okay, if you want to access any server, through that server you can communicate with other users. Okay, so that user or your receiver or that server needs to authenticate you. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ನೀವೇನ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಸರ್ವರ್ ಜೊತೆ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಆರ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಯುವರ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್. Okay, so if you want to communicate with your friends also, you need one website or any other application. So that application needs what? That application needs authentication. Authentication means your identification. So whom you are. Okay, so why you are doing these things, why you are communicating with them, so what things you need or what are the things you need to get from that server. So for that, so they need authentication. So here the next concept is authentication. So we start our discussion with authentication. So what is authentication? So authentication is the process in which proves that he or she it is the entity to claim to be. So now you are going to interact with any server or any user, okay, through online. Okay, then you need to prove that whom you are, why you are going to access that server or why you are going to communicate with them. So that you need to prove. Okay, so that authentication may be based on password, voice, fingerprint or retina scan. So mainly authentication, so through passwords. So in some in your gmail you want to log into your account, you created password. Okay, you have to enter that password. Without you enter not proper password, so that so gmail will not allow you to access. Okay, that password is your authentication, and then your gmail id is your authentication. And then voice. Okay, voice. And then voice means some of the applications needs voice passwords. Okay, through that voice they collect the information or your identification. And then fingerprint in biometrics mainly use fingerprint. And then retina scan. So that fingerprint and retina and then face recognition, so are all commonly used now in your smartphones. So for your identification we are using face recognition, so there. And then fingerprint, there we are using authentication. These are all the authentication. So authentication means we have to prove that, so I am the user, I am going to use this application. You have to prove yourself. Okay, So in authentication also there are two types: one-way authentication and mutual authentication. So one-way authentication and mutual authentication, as the name indicates. So one-way authentication in the sense you have to prove, means for example if you want to access to any server, first you prove, that's it. Okay, so I am this user, I am this is my email ID, and then while you creating an account you provided all the information. Okay, and then you created your password. So through that password or through fingerprint or through your retina scan or through your face recognition, so you can prove. That one is one way only one way. Okay, you are not getting any response from them. ಓಕೆ, ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಇವಾಗ ಪಾಸ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಜಿಮೇಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಜಿಮೇಲ್ ಪಾಸ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ, ದಟ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಒನ್ ವೇ. ಓಕೆ, ಬಟ್ mutual authentication, so mutual authentication mainly used in two-way. Two-way mutual authentication is nothing but two-way. Two-way means first you are showing your authentication, after that you again that receiver also send again their identification, okay, in the form of OTP. Okay, if you are doing any online transaction, in that if you enter your password, after that you are getting OTP. After entering OTP, then only they are authenticated that you are a proper user or a correct user. Okay, so that one is two-way authentication. That one is we also call as mutual authentication. So one way means, so only we are showing our authentication, that's it. But in mutual you are getting some response from that server. Okay, server or the receiver side ಇಂದ ಮತ್ತೆ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. That one is mutual authentication. Okay, so next we see one by one. So which are the different types of one-way authentication, and as well as which are the different types of mutual authentication. So first one is one-way authentication. So in one-way authentication, so in client server communication, client authenticates itself to the server. The server may or may not be authenticated to the client's called one-way authentication. As I told earlier, so client server communication. So if the client wants to communicate with any server, just like I told that the Google, Gmail, if you log in, just log in, that's it. Okay, the server may or may not authenticated you. Okay, your password sometimes it may be correct or it may be incorrect. Okay, so ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪಾಸ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇರಬಹುದು, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರಬಹುದು. ಓನ್ಲಿ one time authentication, you are not getting any response from them. Okay, so that one we called as one way authentication. That's why that they are telling here, client authenticates itself to the server. The server may or may not be authenticated to the client, called one way authentication. There are two types of one way authentication. One is password authentication and another one is certification based authentication. So here in password based authentication, they are using password. Through password they authenticate the user. Okay, and then in certification based authentication, here we are using digital certificates. So next we go to password based authentication. So this is the type of one way authentication. So this one is the one of the most common mechanism to implement authentication is the password. So if you go for one way authentication, mainly we are using password based authentication. So if you open any social media, okay, any social media or any other applications, okay, any other websites, so they are mainly concentrate on passwords. Okay, if you open any application softwares, so softwares means any social media softwares, and then some of the e-commerce websites, so there they are authenticated you. Okay, they are for authentication they are implementing password based authentication process. ಸೊ ನೀವು ನೋಡಿರ್ಬೋದಲ್ವಾ, ಸುಮಾರು ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್, ನೀವು ಯಾವುದೇ ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ, ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಲಾಗಿನ್ ಸೈನ್ ಇನ್ ಆಗಿ ಸೈನ್ ಅಪ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೈನ್ ಅಪ್ ಆದಾಗ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಜನರೇಟ್ ಪಾಸ್ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್. ಮೇನ್ ಆಗಿ ಪಾಸ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಅಥೆಂಟಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಟು ಲಾಗಿನ್ ಟು ಎ ಸರ್ವರ್, ಎ ಯೂಸರ್ ಎಂಟರ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಲಾಗಿನ್ ನೇಮ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪಾಸ್ವರ್ಡ್. These are our login name or password. So if you want to enter or if you want to access any ಸರ್ವರ್ಗಳನ್ನ ನೀವು ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದಾಗ you need to log in. So for login, you enter your name and password. So in that name you can enter your username, or in some websites they are asking email address, some websites they are asking phone numbers, okay, for authentication. The but if they ask email, username or phone number, but in that they commonly asked password. Okay, along with that they asking password. The password is a secret that is known only to the user and the server. Okay, and then these passwords are known only to the user and as well as the server. So here they mentioned one theoretical representation. Okay, if see client wants to interact with the server, client ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು server ಜೊತೆ interact ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, so that client needs to enter its login ID and then password, this username and password. If this username and password preside inside this server, then only your server, this server will give access permission to this client, otherwise it won't give access permission. So this alka and this password is present here, then they will definitely give access permission, so for this client. So are you understand? I hope you understand the password based authentication, or you, I hope you should understand. Why? Because you are familiar with this password based authentication, you are already using this password based authentication process. So the major problem, the major disadvantage, the major disadvantage of this password based authentication is the attackers. The attackers. So for online transaction, so in internet we already know the major problems are attackers. The here the major problem is EVS drop. So EVS drop, the password is sent in the clear, so an attacker can image drop on the message containing the password and later impersonate the real user. So image dropping is nothing but man in middle attack. Just like man in middle attack, I explained in Diffie-Hellman key exchange. So in the middle of this client and server communication, a man or any attacker so can get user login ID and password. So ಒಬ್ಬ ಕ್ಲೈಂಟ್ ಸರ್ವರ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಆ ಕ್ಲೈಂಟ್ ಯೂಸರ್ ಐಡಿ ಪಾಸ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವನೊಬ್ಬ ಮೆನ್ ಇನ್ ಮಿಡಲ್ ಅಡಾಕ್ತಾರನೆ, ಮಿಡಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ಮೆನ್ನು ವಾಚ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಲಿಸನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಅವ್ರ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಲಿಸನ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಸೊ he can override their information, communication information, or he can deviate their information. Okay, so he divide their communication, so that one we called as EVS dropping. EVS dropping is nothing but man in, just like man in middle attack. So if the communication is happening between two client and server or two user, okay, in the middle any other attacker or any person can listen their communication and then he can utilize the things or he can alter the things, so what they are communicating. So the main disadvantage is EVS dropping. And then second one is the passwords are stored in unencrypted form in a file on the server. If an internal attacker obtains access to that file, all passwords stored on the server could get compromised. So in some of the server, if your passwords are stored in the form of unencrypted form, it will not get encrypted. Encrypted ಆಗದೆ ಹಂಗೆ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ that can be hacked. So that can be hacked by the hacker. If the hacker will hack that file, server files, then he can easily get all the passwords and then he can easily send the he can easily enhance the communication between all those users. He can act just like virtual to that server. Okay, and then he can easily get the information. Okay, communication information. So these are all the common things in online online banking transaction. So you already heard about in some banks, some people are calling in the name of some of the banks, and then they are getting your online, your credit card information or debit card informations, and then they can withdraw money from your account. Okay, that one is middle attack. That one is also one of the type of EVS dropping. So these are all the disadvantages. Disadvantages are facing in password based authentication. To overcome that disadvantages, so now what they are going to do in the sense, so now they are trying to save your password by using cryptographic hash functions. So in your server in previously what we discussed, that the major disadvantage is hacker acts that the server file contains password, so then you can easily get the information. But now those password what we stored in the server, those passwords we are stored in the form of hash functions. Okay, so that cryptographic hash of the password and stored on the server, the login software promotes the use of this password and computes its hash function which is transmitted. But an hacker could snoop on the communication servers, a relay attack between the client and the server. The server is thus able to verify whether the client is genuine or not by checking previous response with the server challenge response protocol. Okay, to overcome that disadvantage of password are not stored in an encrypted form. So now what they are going to do in the sense, now they are going to store the password by applying as functions. A password game ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು as functions na apply ಮಾಡಿ, so they are stored in the server. So if the user wants to communicate with the server, again he needs to log in. While he needs to log in by providing that as function, sorry, by providing its password, that password again it will get encrypted, means it will generate the hash code. Next they are comparing both the hash code stored, already stored hash code, and as well as whatever you enter that password converted hash code, if both are same, then only they give access permission. But here also we have problem. So that problem is replay attack. So in the main in middle, so they collect the information and then they send some replay. Okay, so that replay attack also, if you converted that one into hash function also, in hash function also we are facing problems. In cryptography hash function also, we have the hacker can attack, so that he can attack by using replay attack to overcome that one. So to verify that user is genuine or not, so again they implemented challenge response protocol. So to overcome that replay attack ಹೆಂಗ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, so already know that in cryptographic hash function also, so that hash function can also be act ಮಾಡಬಹುದಾಯಿತು. So by using birthday attack, some of the different types of attacks use ಮಾಡಿ attack ಮಾಡಬಹುದಾಯಿತು. Sorry, they can get the information. To overcome that different types of attacks of cryptographic hash functions also, so then they introduce a challenge response protocol. So in challenge response protocol, so first here they are showing, so how the communication being held. So first A wants to communicate with B, so A sends some password, means access permission by entering its username and password to the B. So then B send R. Here R is nothing but random number, just like OTP. That one we called as nonce n1s ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, or nonce ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. We are also called as nonce or n1s. Okay, n1s, that n1s indicates n set of numbers at one time. Okay, that one is your OTP, just like OTP one time password. So if A wants to communicate with B, first A shows his authentication to the B. Assume B is a server, A is a client. So after getting his authentication, B sends a OTP, okay, to identify. After sending OTP, so along with that OTP, so B password, sorry, first A try to log into the B, okay, with its identity, okay, means with his email ID or some of the mobile number. Okay, so now in your mobile, if you want to communicate with server, so first they are asking your mobile number to send OTP. So then that OTP is nothing but here n1s. So that OTP you have to enter along with that password. Okay, so here you see A convey its identity first. Okay, A on the identity na convey ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. So next the challenge from the server with random numbers R, so that R indicates random numbers called n1s is security parlance. The client's response chosen function, to the challenge and the password. So knowing function, password, and then number, and then R, it should be infeasible to compute password, and if no's are infeasible to compute function of password and R. So here what they are trying to explain is, so first A first shows his identification to the server B, okay, and then B after getting his identity sends his random numbers n1s to the A. So after collecting that random number, A sends his password, okay, by performing some operation by functions. That function may be cryptographic hash function or encryption or any other thing. Okay, so any other thing, so that along with that random number OTP, he sends it password in the form of encrypted form to the B. Okay, now we can overcome by, if you perform like this, okay, then you have to overcome from the attackers. To avoid attackers, we have to do all these things. Okay, so F is a cryptographic function. Here F is a cryptographic function. So in B, these four diagrams what they are mentioning here, these four are same, but they are using different process. In first one they use function, This one is a general thing. Okay, any cryptographic function. So figure B, secret key encryption. Here they are using secret key encryption. Okay, first A communicate with B, same thing, and then shows his identification, and B server send random numbers. Okay, it may be OTP or any other things. Okay, and then here the user use that random numbers, so then he encrypted that one by using secret key encryption. So we already know secret key encryption is it may be DES algorithm or AES algorithm. By using that one you can encrypt. And then in third figure the challenge sent by the server is an encrypted. Okay, this one is encrypted. Okay, encrypted random numbers. Here they encrypted only random numbers in third figure. So here they encrypted using password and as well as random number. Okay, by using any secret key encryption function. But in third figure they encrypted only password. Okay, what that challenge means, what OTP or any other thing password, it will be they collected from the server, that one only encrypted. So and then here in B, so in the diagram D, okay, in D diagram, first A send its identity to B, so that B send random number. B is what? Server. That server send random number along with its password. Password means some along with password and OTP, two things they are sent. Okay, if they send two things, then the third the user means that the client send only random number to the server for his authentication. So these are the for one-way authentication using challenge response protocol. This in these four types you can use any one type for implementing challenge. These are all the types of challenge response protocol. So to avoid the hackers. Okay. So next one is certificate based authentication. I hope you all understand this password based authentication. So in password based authentication, first one is normally we are using password. If you are creating this and the username and password, so that creates what? So that creates problem. Okay, that hacker can hack that things. That's why we need to encrypt the password to avoid from the waste dropping. So for encrypting, they were using cryptographic hash functions, but cryptographic hash functions also having some problems of like reply attack. Okay, so to overcome that one, so now we are using challenge response protocol. So next one is certificate based authentication. So that certificate based authentication is nothing but here instead of random numbers we are sending a certificate. That certificate is which what certificates are, so that certificate is digital certificate. So the digital certificate we already know. For generating digital certificate we have to represent our version number, ID number, okay, authentication number, okay, and then as well as your name, okay, name, validity period, all those things will be present in that digital certificate. So instead of user send its authentication through its login name or password, we directly send certificate. Is it a certificate? A client need to share a secret with the server, but may have public key certificate. That public key certificate you can share with the server. First, A sends a certificate in message 1. So in message 1, so first A sends a certificate. B for perform certain checks such as validity period and name of the principal. Also verifies that signature of the certification authority. C is what? Certification authority and the certificate. So first A sends its certificate as an authentication to the B. So this B will going to check that certificate is valid certificate, validity period, and as well as that name, and as well as that certificate authority who will provide the certification authority. And then next that server sends the challenge of n1s or random number, okay, in the form of OTP. Send that random number. So by accepting that random number, so A encrypting respond by encrypting the challenge with the private key. So for that challenge, so A needs to respond again to show its authentication. So for that A respond by encrypting the challenge with a private key. So through his private key, you can respond with the challenge. When B receives A private key, okay, in the sense E of A, in the sense this one contains encrypted private key, A authentication private key along with N1s. It decrypts with its A public key and compares it with the N1s is transmitted in message 2. If both are matched, it concludes that A has used the private key corresponding to the public key in your certificate. Okay, we already know digital certificate. So in digital certificate, so in digital signatures, okay, so we are encrypted the informations or informations by using the private key. So here first A sends a request to the B, so that authentication A authenticates itself by using digital certificate. So B checks its digital certificate and send N1s. After accepting that N1s by the B means client, so he encrypted that N1s along with its private key. After sending this encrypted private key along with N1s, so B decrypts this private key, which means this data, by using its public key. So B contains already public key of A. So by using that public key, decrypts that one and check the N1s and then compare what that N1s is already sent. Both are matched. Then only we can allow that A can use the B server. Assume A is a client. The client can use this server. Okay. So assume that A's private key is safely protected. So this one is the certification based one-way authentication. So certificate based one-way authentication, here we are going to send certificates instead of sending its password. Okay. So similar to the previous one, here B chooses N1. So this one is also another type. Okay, you can also send certificate based one-way authentication like this also. First A sends the certificate to the B. So after verifying all the things of certificates, that certificate is genuine or not, so then B again send. But here B will not send the N1s. So B encrypt that A's public key to create a challenge. B trying to encrypt that public key of B. So in that certificate it contains public key also. So that public key also encrypted and create a challenge. A decrypts the challenge and send to B. Authentication of A and B succeed if the B receives the message 3 is R. Okay, so here first A send the certificate to the B. Okay, encrypted B encrypted that N1s along with the A's public key. A public key ಜೊತೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ N1s encrypt ಮಾಡಿ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. So A decrypt ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅದನ್ನ decrypt ಮಾಡಿ only he sends the N1s. R is nothing but N1s, random numbers ಅನ್ನು ಕಳಿಸಬೇಕು. After he checks that random number is correct or not, that random number what he encrypted it is correct, then he can allow access and then the conclude that there is a authenticated user. Okay, so these are certificate based one-way authentication. So in first type, so what they do, first to send the certificate, A send the certificate to B, B directly send the random numbers to A. A again that by using that random numbers he encrypted that random number along with its private key, and then B decrypts that encrypted data with his public key, with A's public key, and then he compare and then he can verify that authentication. Another one type is, so first A sends the certificate, but B directly will not directly send the random numbers. So B encrypted that public key along with the random number. Okay, encrypted public key of the A and random number and send it to A. So A decrypt and then A send only the random number to the B. Reverse process. So these are the two types of one-way authentication: password based authentication and as well as certificate based authentication. This one is also important question for your examination purpose. In exam if they ask explain password based authentication, okay, then sorry, explain one-way authentication, or if they ask explain authentication process, then you have to explain both one-way authentication and as well as mutual authentication. But if they ask only one-way authentication, you have to explain both password based authentication and certificate based authentication. So next one is mutual authentication. So here in one-way authentication only one side authentication will be held at one side, but in mutual authentication, so both the communicating parties are authenticate with each other. So for example, if this will be mainly used in social media. If A sends information to the B, if A is one user, B is another user, A and B are communicate with each other before communication will start. So it is often necessary for both communicating parties to communicate themselves to each other. Okay, so both are authenticated with each other. So here also in mutual authentication we have four types: shared secret key based authentication, asymmetric key based authentication, authentication and key agreement, use of timestamps. So in that, the first one, shared secret key. So here the authentication will be made by sharing their secret key between the two parties. So asymmetric key based authentication. So here they are in shared secret key, in the sense only one key they are going to generate, but in asymmetric they are generating two keys, public and as well as private key. So they are authenticated. Next we see, and then authentication and sorry, key agreement. Authentication and key agreement. So here we are using key defilement, key exchange type, key exchange process, and then use of timestamp while they are communicating with each other. So we are going to attach timestamp. Timestamp means on what time we are sending that information, and then we are in that fixed time that message will be read or it will be reached. In that fixed time it will not reach, then we are going to destroy that message. Okay, or we are going to stop that communication, or we are cancel that communication. So that one is use of timestamp. First we see shared secret key. So this one is the mutual authentication using shared secret key. So this one is the uh, so here this one is the flood protocol. Flood protocol is we have some error or some hackers they can hack. We have some weakness in this communication. So what we see? So first step in message one, A communicates its identity to A. A communicates its identity A and its challenge in the form of N1s or A dash. In message 2, B respond to the challenge by encrypting RA with a common secret key K that A and B share. B also sends its own challenge RB to A. In message 3, A responds to B's challenge to complete the protocol for mutual authentication. So here, so for communicating in shared secret key, we already know they are sharing the common key between the two users. Okay, so two users are communicating in the sense they are sharing a common secret key. So first, what that A will do? A will send its identity along with its N1s. N1s RA random number ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಟಿನ B ಗೆ ಸೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. B accepting that A's random number. So along with that A's random number, here he encrypted that A's random number. A's to n nonce ಏನ್ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾನೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಎನ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ by using the common secret key what they are shared between A and B use ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. Along with that, so he send its own challenge in the form of random numbers. ಆ own challenge random numbers ಜೊತೆನೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ಎನ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟೆಡ್. ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಏನ್ ಸೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಎನ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾನೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸೀಕ್ರೆಟ್ ಕೀನ ಏನ್ ಕಾಮನ್ ಆಗಿ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಒಂದು ಕೂಡ ರ್ಯಾಂಡಮ್ ನಂಬರ್ ನ ಸೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಆ ರ್ಯಾಂಡಮ್ ನಂಬರ್ ರಿಸೀವ್ ಮಾಡಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಸೊ ಬಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ರಿಸೀವ್ ಮಾಡಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಎ ಜೊತೆ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ತೋರ್ಸಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ. ಸೊ ಬಿ ಏನ್ ರ್ಯಾಂಡಮ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಸೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾನೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಅವನ ಹತ್ರ ಏನ್ ಕಾಮನ್ ಸೀಕ್ರೆಟ್ ಕೀ ಅವ್ರು ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಎನ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. But this one is the so weak communication. Okay, in this communication we have some weakness. What weakness? So here they are sharing the common secret key so that men in middle attack can easily they can attack this communication. So for that what they will do next we see. So one attack scenario. So here they are going to explain how the attacker will attack. So the attack is parallel session attack or reflection attack. So here they mainly use this type of attacks, means a parallel session attack or reflection attack. So what that attack we see? So first an attacker C sends a message to the B containing an unknowns RA and climbing to a A. So here C is the attacker. Actually C is the attacker. See what that C will do. That C is going to do that C send one identity in the name of A. ಸಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಎ ನೇಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅವನು ಐಡೆಂಟಿಟಿನ ಸೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ವಿತ್ ರ್ಯಾಂಡಮ್ ನಂಬರ್. ಸೊ ಬಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಸೊ ಎ ಕಳಿಸಿದಾನೆ ಕಣಪ್ಪ. ಸೊ ಎ ಕಳಿಸಿದಾನೆ ಅಂದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಸೊ ಎ ನೇಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಟಿ ಬಂದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅವನು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಕಾಮನ್ ಸೀಕ್ರೆಟ್ ಕೀನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ನ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಅಲ್ಲ ಎನ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟೆಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಡೇಟಾನ ಸೇಮ್ ಎನ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟೆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಬಿ ಗೆ ಬಿ ಇದು ರ್ಯಾಂಡಮ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ನ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾನೆ. ಬಿ ಏನು ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಅಂತ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾನೆ, ಎಗೆ ಅಂತ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾನೆ. ಬಟ್ ಆ ಡೇಟಾ ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸಿ ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಸೊ ಈ ಡೇಟಾಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮತ್ತೆ ಬಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಬಿ ಇಂದ ರ್ಯಾಂಡಮ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಬಂದಿರೋದನ್ನ ಎ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಎ ಅನ್ಕೋತಾನೆ ಬಿ ರ್ಯಾಂಡಮ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಕಳಿಸಿದಾನೆ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಿ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಟಿ ಕಳಿಸೋನು ಏನ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಬಿಗೆ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಅವನು ಒಂದು ರ್ಯಾಂಡಮ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾನೆ. ಆ ರ್ಯಾಂಡಮ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸಿ ಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಸಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಸೊ ಬಿ ರ್ಯಾಂಡಮ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಎ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾನಲ್ಲ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ದು, ಸೊ ಆ ಕಳಿಸಿರೋ ರ್ಯಾಂಡಮ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಬಿ ಗೆ ಸೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ಏನ್ ಅನ್ಕೋತಾನೆ, ಎ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬಿ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ we are communicating with each other, and B thoughts that we are communicate with each other, but that in that middle of the communication, that communication actually start by the C. So that C will observe these two communication, and then he collect the informations what they communicate with each other and their identification. So listen here, an attacker C sends the message to the B containing random number R91 RA and claiming to A. So B respond to the challenge with encrypted RA and its own challenge to RB as required by the above protocol. So message 1 dash is nothing but now C attempts to connect to the A claiming to B. Okay, so with the challenge RB, so and then this is the same challenge offered by the B in the message. So A respond to the challenge and respond ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ C ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ 3 ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಅಥೆಂಟಿಕೇಶನ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೋಕಾಲ್ ನ 3 ಮೆಸೇಜಸ್ ಇಬ್ಬರೂ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್ ಸೆಷನ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಶೇರ್ ಸೀಕ್ರೆಟ್ ಕೀ. ಸೊ ನೌ ಹೌ we are going to overcome this attack. So that attack will be overcome by using this corrected protocol. That corrected protocol is A could use n1s which are odd numbers, while B could use n1s that are even numbers. With this modification are be used in message 2. So here what they are going to do in the sense, so here in first what we saw, so this one is flood protocol, means yeah, these protocols having some mistakes or some loopholes. Okay, so to do that loopholes, by using that loopholes, that parallel session attack can be made by the attacker to overcome that one. So here what they are going to do in the sense, first A sends its authentication along with this random numbers. So B encrypted that random number. Okay, along with that he again encrypted its n1s, but A's n1s is what, odd numbers, B's n1s is what, even numbers. So that may be vary. Okay, sometimes A send odd numbers, sometimes B send even number, sometimes A send even number and B send random number. That will be communicated only by the A and B. So here both are encrypted. A's random number also encrypted. In previous what they are doing, only B, what B will do, only A sended random numbers only encrypted using secret key. But now they are going to encrypt both now. B encrypted both A's random key and its B's random key. Okay, it's B random key also. Okay, so but here they are using A can send odd numbers and then B send only even numbers. And then next B decrypted and then send the B's random to the, so A decrypted the the encrypted data sent by the B, and then he decrypted that B's random number and then send it to B. Okay, B random number na decrypt ಮಾಡಿ send ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. So in this way we can avoid the hacker. Okay, by doing this one. Okay, next one is asymmetric key based authentication. So in asymmetric key based authentication, in the sense here we are using both public key and as well as private key. So this one is flawed protocol. So flawed protocol in the sense it have some weakness. So first we see what with that weakness. Assume that both A and B having the public key and private key pairs. Yes, we know why, because this one is asymmetric key based authentication, and each party transmits its own nonce and challenges the other to sign it. Okay, so they both are transmit their own nonce and challenges, and then they need to sign it, certificates. Okay, through that certificates. So first one what happens, use the notation MA to mean a message, M sent in the clear, together with A signature on M. Okay, in message 2 the string obtained by the concatenating nonce RA and RB is signed by the B. Okay, both the nonce and the signature are sent. Nonce RA is the challenger provided by the A, RB is the challenger provided by B and signed by the A in response. So listen here. So here first A, in A what that A and B will do in the sense. So A first send its identification, A identification and then random numbers and then A certificate. So A certificate in the sense digital certificates is send random number and along with that certificate. So and then A this one is asymmetric key based authentication. They are using both in public and private key. So now by using the sum of the notation function, see that message will be encrypted and then send it to B. So in A certificates it have the digital signature also. And then B next after accepting the AS identification and checking that AS certificate, B perform. So B concatenating both RA and RB. RA and RB in the sense random number of A and random number of B. Both they will be concatenated. Okay, and then send its B certificate. B certificate to the A. So again that A validating this B certificate. Okay, checking that B certificate and then send the random number of B. So what he encrypted, so in this message, okay, so that random numbers, so he will decrypt and then send it to the B. Okay, so in this way they are authenticated with each other. Okay, next what happened, next attack, how the attacker will attack, same as the secret key. So first A send the authentication and then random number to the B in the middle, so that this attack is flawed protocol. Attacker for protocol is man in middle attack. So first he accepts that A wants to communicate with B in the middle. C is an attacker. He collects the information from the A and then he sends its information to the B. Okay, that same number to the B. So and then B send a response. B send a response. After sending that response will actually go to the C. After the C accepted that one and then he change that one, whatever the things we want, he change that data and then he send it to B. Sorry, send it to A. Again that A will thought that, so okay, B sent that response and then he decrypted the data and then he send the information, means the response to the B, but actually that in response will go to C, first C, and then the C will alter the information and send to B. Okay, so the things explained here. A initiate the communication with C, sending challenge RA dash. So dash what they mentioned, RA dash, RB dash. So those are all the communication of C. Okay, so that same thing they explained. So this one is man in middle attack in asymmetric key based authentication. So correct this one, what they are going to do in a sense, uh, first A send this identification instead of certificates, they send the identification along with random number. Okay, in B what that B will do in the sense, so he encrypted the data along with AS identification, AS random number and B's random number. He encrypted the entire thing and send it to BA. Okay, so and then A decrypt the things and then he attached the A identification what they sent and then A's random number, he encrypted that too and sent it to B. So in this way we can avoid from the attacker. Okay, by if you perform like this, then you can avoid the attackers. So assume both A and B having public and private key pairs. Each party transmits its own non and challenges to other to sign it. Nonce RA is a challenge provided by A, RB is the challenge provided by B. So here what they are doing, A send is only random number. Okay, so he encrypted the data and then send it to B. It contains only the A's identification and then it's a random number. So B send response after verified this one, send response and then he encrypted the data of A's identification, A's random number along with that B's random number. So now A decrypt these things and then he sent B's identification and B's random number to the B. So then it will be difficult to the hacker to act this type of communications. Okay, so next one is authentication and key agreement. So here the concept of session concept will be applied, means the time will be fixed for communicating between the two parties. So authentication was performed on long-term or short-term basis. Shared secret or private key is good security and minimize the probability of compromise, but this one is expensive. Short-term keys must be agreed upon and derive the short-term keys or session keys during the authentication phases itself. SA and SB. SA indicates session key of A, session key of B, or contribution of the secret key K by A and B. There are freshly chosen random numbers that are encrypted and sent so that they cannot be eavesdropped upon. So here for authentication they are using session keys they are going to generate. So if you want to communicate long term, then you can create your timing, you fix the timings, okay, and then for short term you fix the time. And then here mainly they are using freshly chosen random numbers. Okay, freshly chosen random numbers means at the time they are not using the old generated passwords or random numbers. Okay, so they are choosing freshly random numbers. Okay, that's why eavesdropping will be avoided. Okay, cannot be eavesdropping upon that communication. So next we see how they are communicating with each other. So listen here. So here session key first. So A first send its authentication along with its random number to the B. For identification, first he sends its authentication and random numbers to the B. So for that, B verified the A identification and then A encrypted that A's random number using the secret shared key, and then he encrypted its random number or B along with session key. SB is a session key. In this SB, so they fixed a time slot. Okay, within that time period, can communicate with each other. So this one using secret key cryptography. In secret key, they are encrypted using the shared secret key. So now the B sent to the A. So these informations. So again that B decrypt all this information and then he sent random number of B and he send encrypted session key of A. So A du encrypted session key na send ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ along with random number B. B du random numbers na ಮತ್ತೆ encrypted session key A du session key ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಎರಡನ್ನೂ ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ B ಗೆ send ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ for challenge ಗೆ response ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಡೋಕೋಸ್ಕರ. Okay, in this way they are authenticate with each other using secret key cryptography. So here next one is using public key cryptography. So in public key cryptography, so first we see in public key cryptography, first A wants to communicate with B, so A sends it authentication, A's authentication, B's authentication, and then random number, A's random number and A's certificate. All this information will send to B. By accepting all this information and validating all this information, B responds. So B encrypted all the informations like A's identification, A's random number and B's random number, and is going to encrypted the session key using the public key what they are sharing between each other. So public key ಜೊತೆ encrypt ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ session key and he sends the B certificate. After validating, first he decrypt this secret key of B and then he validating B certificate. So and then he again send a response by attaching or by encrypting B's information. Okay, and then B's random number, and then he encrypted that uh, SCA means session key of A using the B's public key. Okay, here B encrypted using the A's public key. Here A uses the B's public key to encrypt the session key and send it to B. So in this way authentication and key agreement will be happening. Okay, key agreement will be happen this way. Okay, so next one we see using timestamp. Using timestamp, here they fix the time. Okay, timestamp on what time they are sending. Okay, so the timing information will be attached along with that communication. Okay, nonce are timestamps. So here instead of random numbers they are sending n1s in the form of timestamp. Time on what time they are sending. So stamping a message with the current time. The key idea here is the freshness of the n1s. So on what time that freshness of the n1, random numbers na ಯಾವ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದ್ರ freshness check ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ they are attaching the current time. So first A wants to communicate with B. In message if one A inserts a timestamp T. So they are going to attach T along with A and B identification and then session key. Okay, in this message and signs it. So B receiving the message checks whether the timestamp is sufficiently recent and then verifies with the timestamp signature. So E increments the received timestamp, inserts into his response message to A and signs the message. So here, along with that communication, what that communication happens by using authentication and key agreement, that same communication, along with that they are attaching timestamp to check the freshness, okay, freshness of the n1s random numbers to ಯಾವ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ರೆಶ್ನೆಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ. ಸೊ ಅಲಾಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ದಟ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚಿಂಗ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಪ್. ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಟೈಮ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಪ್ನ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಎ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್, ಬಿ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್, ಟೈಮ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಪ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ SCA is session key of A. ಇಷ್ಟನ್ನು ಎನ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಿ ಇಸ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಕೀ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಎನ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಎ ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್ ಜೊತೆ ಸೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ವೆರಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಟೈಮ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಪ್ ಅನ್ನು ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಯಾವ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ, ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಂದರೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಟೈಮ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ, N1s random number ಜನರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಎನ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅಗೇನ್ ಈ ಎನ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟೆಡ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಎಸ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಕೀ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಸೊ ಎ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್, ಬಿ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್, ಟೈಮ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಪ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಒನ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಪ್. ಆ ಟೈಮ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಪ್ ಜೊತೆನೆ ಇದು ಇನ್ಕ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟೈಮ್ ತಗೊಳುತ್ತೆ, ಇದು ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ. ಆ ಟೈಮ್ನ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಮಾಡಿ ದೆನ್ ಈ ಸೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಲಾಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಬೀಸ್ ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಸೊ ಬೀಸ್ ರ್ಯಾಂಡಮ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಪ್ ನ ಸೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಟೈಪ್ ದ ಟೈಮ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಪ್ communication will be held. Okay, this completes your mutual authentication. Okay, so in mutual authentication, four types: secret key mutual authentication, asymmetric key authentication, and as well as next one is authentication and key agreement, and then timestamp. So this one is important question in exam. Okay, this one is actually asked in your last examination. Explain the mutual authentication techniques, different types of mutual authentication techniques. Then you have to explain, for that question you have to explain these four types. Okay, okay, next one is dictionary attack. So the main problem faced by both one-way authentication and mutual authentication is dictionary attack. So we already know dictionary attack is nothing but password guessing. They are going to try to guess the password. Okay, so dictionary attack is typically launched in context of passwords. Mainly these dictionary attacks are applied to the password. Some password have too few characters, other may be commonly celebrity names, places and names, etc. Okay, some individual uses permutation of characters in the name of their near relatives, okay, friends, so that they can easily to be memorable. Based on such clues, an attacker can build a dictionary of strings which are potential password of his her victim. Okay, password guessing is nothing but, sorry, dictionary attack is nothing but password guessing. So based on that, these clues are nothing but some of their giving their own name or one. We already know most of us giving passwords in the form of 1 2 3 4 like that. So these are all the different clues we given to that hackers. Okay, indirectly, not directly. Okay, that they are going to create one dictionary. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಬೈ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಕ್ಲೂಸ್, ನಾವೇನು ಕ್ಲೂಸ್ನ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ಆ ಕ್ಲೂಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಒಂದು ಡಿಕ್ಷನರಿನ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ್ದು ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಸರ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೆಲೆಬ್ರಿಟಿ ನೇಮ್ಸ್, ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದಮ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಸೆಲೆಬ್ರಿಟಿ ನೇಮ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಸಮ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸಸ್, ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಬರ್ತ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಬರ್ತ್ ಡೇಟ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ದೇರ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ನೇಮ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಅದ್ರ ಪರ್ಮುಟೇಷನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಜನರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಒನ್ ಡಿಕ್ಷನರಿ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ಸ್. There are two types of dictionary attacks, online ಮತ್ತೆ offline attack. So next we see what is that online and offline attack. So in online attack, an introducer attempts to log in to the victim's account by using victim's login name and guessed password. So online attacks have several limited chances of success. So online attacks ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಲಾಗಿನ್ ನೇಮ್, ವಿಕ್ಟಿಮ್ ಯಾರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಲಾಗಿನ್ ನೇಮ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಪಾಸ್ವರ್ಡ್ನ ಗೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಲಾಗಿನ್ ಆಗಿ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಬಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಲಿಮಿಟೆಡ್ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್. ವೈ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ so now they are stored that information, passwords in server in the form of encrypted formats. So that's why it will be chances of success is less. Offline dictionary attacks leaves few fingerprints attacks to get hold of the password file from the server. So just like fingerprint, ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಿಂಗರ್ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ಆ ಫಿಂಗರ್ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕರ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅದನ್ನ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆಫ್ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ವರ್ ಜೊತೆ ಇಂಟರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡೋದು ಇನ್ ಬಯೋಮೆಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಅನದರ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಈಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕರ್ ಟು ಇವೇಸ್ ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ಆನ್ ದಿ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ದ ಕ್ಲೈಂಟ್ ಅಥೆಂಟಿಕೇಶನ್. ಸೊ ಇವೇಸ್ ಡ್ರಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಸೊ ಇವೇಸ್ ಡ್ರಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ದಟ್ ಪಾಸ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಗೆಸಿಂಗ್. ಓಕೆ, ಪಾಸ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಗೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಅಥವಾ ಪಾಸ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಮೆನ್ ಇನ್ ಮಿಡಲ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್. ಇವೇಸ್ ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೆನ್ ಇನ್ ಮಿಡಲ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸೊ ಅವ್ರ ಪಾಸ್ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್. Okay, these are offline dictionary attack and online dictionary attack. So next here they given one algorithm. So how the dictionary attack will be doing performing. So let D is an array containing the dictionary. Okay, assume D is an array containing the dictionary. F denotes function that password along with the random numbers. So PW is the client password. Let N is the number of permissible guesses. Okay, N is the guesses size of D. So first found is equal to false, I is equal to 0 while not found, negation of found and I less than n. X is equal to function of di. So the di is what your array of I. Okay, and then random number. If x is equal to f, the print correct password is di. So found true. So here they are representing one algorithm. Okay, so here they are showing one way authentication. For one way authentication, so that attackers can generate. Here they are explaining how that attackers will attack by using algorithms. So they generate this type of algorithm. So here the D is represents the dictionary of passwords. So what that guessed passwords they collected, so that they made one dictionary. Okay, that in the form of array they store. So by using that one they can attack. Okay, so defeating dictionary attack. For defeating, so this type of dictionary attack, for defeating this type of dictionary attacks, so here we are using Diffie-Hellman key exchange. Dictionary attacks is most time consuming operation. Functions DI and R could be made more computationally expensive and also decrease the attacker chances of success. So cryptographic hash H applied successively 100 times, that is H 100 times. So attacker's chances of guessing this password would decrease the which commensurately. So means here to avoid this dictionary attack. Okay, and then this dictionary attack is also most time consuming. Why? Because they need to perform, they need to collect the different passwords and then they created an array and then they generated a function, and then this will be more costly, expensive, and as well as more time consuming, and then the result is also less, the chances of success is also less. To avoid that one, what we are going to do in the sense, we have to apply more for that same password we have to apply 100 times hash function. For one hash function decryption is very difficult. If you perform 100 times as applying hash function to the same password, so it will be very difficult. Okay, the possibility is very less of guessing those type of password. Okay, so next one, this one is the defeating dictionary attack, how we are performing. So a protocol is virtual elements of line dictionary attacks is encrypted key exchange. So this one is a protocol so that can overcome this defeating dictionary attack. Use this one mainly uses the Diffie-Hellman key exchange, which mutual authentication based secret keys. Shared secret mutual authentication is accomplished using now familiar challenge response protocol. Attacker would not be able to obtain the session key S J of every mod p. EKE encrypted key exchange protocol, not susceptible to an offline dictionary attack. So this one is the protocol. This encrypted key exchange protocol is mainly used to defeat with dictionary attacks. So here we are going to use Diffie-Hellman key exchange. So first one, here we encrypted our password, along with that some key. We are applying the Diffie-Hellman key exchange formula, and then we send that in identification to B. Now B obtained that password by using that shared secret key, what they are sharing between each other. By using that password, that key, so they encrypted along with the random numbers. So again that A accepted that one and then decrypt that one by using their secret key. Again we send the random number of A and as well as B to the B. Again that B send its identification to the A by sending only its key. Along with that key is what? That key is common secret key, what we used in Diffie-Hellman key exchange. So by using this EKE encrypted key exchange protocol, we can defeat the dictionary attack. Okay, so so the summary of this chapter in this chapter is First we discussed about one-way authentication, in that password based authentication and certificate based authentication. So in mutual authentication, so we discussed about shared secret key, symmetric key based authentication and key agreement, use of timestamps, and then dictionary attacks, and then how to defeat the dictionary attacks. So this completes your second chapter in third module. So in next video we discussed about third chapter authentication 2. Okay, so this one is the first basic way authentication, one basic authentication. Next one is second one is different types of authentication using in online transaction, Kerberos and then Nidham Sakharov algorithm, that we discussed in next module, sorry, next chapter, that we discussed in next video. So I hope you all understand this video. So if you not understand or if you get any doubt, so please message me. Okay, thank you.